Have you ever thought that one day you're going to make a skill build which will be infinitely spamming its skills? Now, not just one, but both the skills. Yes, we have had infinite spamming skill builds like Secret Mind builds and stuff in the past. I have made a lot of them in the past as well, but this one's on a different league. You're spamming both the skills at the same time. Yes, you can see the footage right here, which I'm showing you. It is absolutely hilarious. Now, hold your horses. Don't get too excited. You can't take this on tier 10 escalation and expect great results. You're probably going to get kicked there. Yeah, speaking with experience. But I will show you a few things that you can change and that will make it more viable so you can take it over there. But if you're doing lower tier escalations like tier 5, tier 6, heck even tier 7, you'll be absolutely fine over there. And if you're playing anything other than escalation like legendaries and stuff, yeah, it's too OP for that. So if you're interested, without any further ado, let me show you the build. Now, as for the build, well, this is the build over here, as you can see. Now, before you jump into any conclusion and say that this won't work in tier 10 escalation, listen, I already said that you're not supposed to use this build in higher tier escalation. You can use it if you are making some changes, which I will explain in a moment. But first, let's just talk about the gear set and obviously the augments that I'm using. But if you're playing this on legendary mission, anything that is not escalation, obviously, it's just too overpowered for that content. So let's just start with the chest piece here. So I'm using a hardwired chest piece here. Now, if you don't know what hardwired does, well, 2 piece gives you skill haze, which honestly we don't really need that much because we have infinite skills on both our skills are coming back like basically all the time. 3 piece set bonus is where we're getting a skill damage and repair skill, which is again very handy because we will be needing both of them. And also for 4 piece, the talent feedback loop is where all the magic happens. So whenever you use your skill or cancel your skill, the other skill gets out of cooldown and it basically like reduces the cooldown of it by 30 seconds. But that means you're pretty much getting the skill back because normally skills do have like 30 seconds of cooldown in a way. Now, you're also going to get a 10% of skill damage and repair skill for 20 seconds. But since we're using the chest piece, that's going to get increased to 25%. So whenever we proc the talent, we're going to get 25% of skill damage. And that's going to happen basically all the time. Now, we're using skill damage on the attribute, which is nice. You can also use a repair skill if you want to. It's totally fine. I'm using protection from elite mods right now, but because I was playing solo legendary, but you can change this to something like repair skill as well, so it's totally fine. You know, repair skill will be really good to help your team members, which again I'll talk about in a moment. For the augment, I'm using quantum on it. I don't want to use quantum. I'm actually forced to use quantum right now because I'm out of prototype core. Otherwise, I would recommend something like Anomaly or Paradox. Now, you just need one anomaly. Like I have my mask here, the hardwired mask, which has anomaly here, and you can see it gives you 10% healing for every time like your skill is dealing damage. It's basically refactor set. Like this is the gear set bonus from refactor right there. If you use 2 of them, it's more than refactor for yourself, the healing that is. Now, if you level it up, obviously it's gonna get higher. I don't have it leveled up. The starting point is 10%, which is already really nice. So if you level it up, it's gonna get higher. That's why I recommend you to just use 1 anomaly. Okay, don't use more than 1. You're fine with just 1. So yeah, that's my mask here. Unfortunately, I have status effect. I would want something like repair skill or even skill damage, so I'll be fine. I mean, skill damage will be preferred, so you can change the mod to repair skill. So I would recommend that. But unfortunately, this is the only piece I have, so you know I have to stick with it. You know, I have to farm these pieces. It's not that easy to get them. Now, as for the gloves, I have obviously skill tier on it and status effect, which I already said that I would want something like skill damage or even repair skill on it. But I'm stuck with this, and I'm using Paradox as my augment. You need to make sure that you have Paradox on everything because the more you have this, the more chances you're gonna have to refill the magazine by 2, which will be really helpful for your chem launcher, which we're spamming like crazy, and we're getting the ammo back at it, and it's just infinitely spamming like that. And because of that, we're proccing the feedback loop all the time, and we're getting our Seeker Mine back all the time. So it's just a complete loop happening of infinite skill spam because of Paradox and also the feedback loop proccing from the gear set. So this is the reason why we're having infinite skills with us, both the skills, not just one. So yeah, make sure you have Paradox on everything. Now, as for the backpack, the reason why we're using the hardwired backpack is because of the talent, which is short circuit. Decreases the feedback loop cooldown from 10 seconds to 5 seconds. I did try using a high-end backpack with like damage talent. It was doing good damage, but I was feeling the 10-second cooldown. But the moment I made the change and swapped to this backpack, I actually don't feel the cooldown at all. Like I'm in situations where my Seeker Mine is coming back. I'm forgetting to deploy it. You know, I've been in a situation like that because, like I said, it's coming back so quickly because because of this. Yes, you'll do a little bit less damage, but since it's coming back so fast, you can infinitely spam it, and that usually adds up the damage over time in a way, I would say. So that's why I'm using this. Now we have skill damage, obviously, that's what I recommend, but you can also have repair skill on it. It's totally fine. But if you get that with skill damage, then you can change the mod to repair skill, especially if you're playing in a group. Now, as for the knee pads, I'm using a one piece of China Light here because it gives you that 15% of explosive damage because we're using the Seeker Mine and that's my main focus. So, the Seeker Mine is doing a bit more damage because of this. Now, like I said, the augment is going to be Paradox here. But the reason why I'm using the China Light knee pads is because of this. Yes, it's a perfect guard roll piece. Only piece that I have, which is like a perfect guard roll. So yeah, let me just show you this, okay? Anyway, so yeah, that's why I have it here. Now, as for the holster, which is the exotic piece here, the Waveform, which basically set and forget, you get like 30% of skill damage from it, depends where the arrow is, and it doesn't really matter where the arrow is because both our skills are doing damage. So yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, it is kind of set and forget. So if you want some damage, use this holster, it'll do the damage for you. So that's pretty much the all the gear set, but we will change few things here and there, especially if you're trying to play this on higher tier escalation. Again, I do not really recommend it, especially on a state like this where nothing is maxed out for me and I don't even have the right attributes. Obviously, I won't go and, play tier 10. Probably going to get kicked there. So if you really want to, I'll tell you what to do to kind of just, help your team members in a way. Basically, what you should be doing when you're playing higher tier escalation is like you can change the chess piece of hardwired and switch it to something like a high-end chess piece and then have a talent which is like empathic resolve, for example. And that way, when you're healing your team members, you're also buffing their damage. Now, you could also wait for the next update where you're going to have like a named version of the empathic resolve talent. So that will provide even more damage buff for your entire group. You can change the oxidizer to something like the reinforcer, which is the healing one, the healing chem launcher. This will also going to proc your Paradox augment, and you're also going to proc the feedback loop from the hardwired. So you will still have infinite skills like your Seeker Mine, and also Paradox will make sure that your chem launcher is also getting spammed. Even though you don't have crazy high healing like a Fusion Initiative or something, but you're still having enough ammo to heal your team members. And don't forget, hardwire is providing you with the repair skill. And if you have like attributes or mods with repair skill, that will obviously going to increase your healing a lot. Now, as for the weapons, honestly, it doesn't matter which weapon you use. Any weapon is fine as long as it's prototype. You don't have to worry about using capacitor or anything. Yes, they will increase your skill damage, but we don't have time to use any weapon because we are spamming the skills so much. So we're just going to use a prototype weapon with the Paradox Augment, and that's the only thing that should matter. Now, if you want to increase your skill damage with these weapons, then make sure the talent is something like In Sync or Flatline. Yes, that works for your skill as well. Or something like Spike Talent. That will be really handy. So yeah, you could use it like that. Otherwise, as long as it's a prototype weapon with the Paradox Augment, that's the only thing that matters here. So yeah, that's basically for the build. Look, it's not the perfect build in the game, I know. It's not. I was just having fun. I was using the build, it was putting a smile on my face, and I was having fun, which was very important. Oftentimes people forget about it, having fun. That is a very important thing. And I just wanted to share with you all, okay? So give it a go, take it as a template and change a few things around here and there to suit your playstyle, that is. Just make sure as long as you have one Anomaly Augment and everything else is Paradox, it should be good to go. So yeah, give it a go. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section and leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.